Everything you know about freedom is a lie, and most of our choices are fake. You don't make most of your decisions. Your attention is manipulated, your desires are predicted, your insecurities are profitable, and many of your choices are designed long before you ever believe you made them yourself.
Welcome back to Alternating Current. This video is going to be a little different than the usual ones we do here on this channel, but if you like it, make sure to let us know by liking and subscribing.
People are controlled by making them feel free. One of the most popular psychological theories is called the paradox of choice. It basically tells us that too many options make people unhappy. Too many careers, too many shows, too many dating options, too many brands of peanut butter. It tells us that we're overwhelmed by freedom.
But I think that theory completely misses the point, because modern people are not suffering from an excess of meaningful freedom. They're suffering from the illusion of it. The real problem isn't that modern people have too many choices, it's that most of our choices are completely meaningless. We're surrounded by endless options, but almost none of them give us real control over our lives. When people talk about freedom of choice, they actually mean consumer freedom. But choosing between brands is hardly a choice at all, and it's the real reason people today are so stressed, not for lack of options, but for lack of meaningful ones.
So, we live in the most personalized era in all of history. All of our decisions are tracked and jolted down. Your ads, your For You page, your search history, your shopping habits, your screen time, everything is monitored. So, companies can predict what you want before you even realize you want it for yourself. You are allowed to choose between products, but rarely outside the system producing them. You can choose which social media platform to use, but not whether modern social life increasingly requires digital visibility in the first place. You can choose between brands of food, clothing, entertainment, or technology, but not whether your data is constantly harvested and transformed into profit.
This creates a strange psychological contradiction. People are told they are completely responsible for constructing their own lives, yet the structures surrounding them are becoming increasingly centralized and impersonal. They say it's all up to you, and yet they're really making all the choices for you. These systems show you how you should want to be, what you should want to wear, buy, etc.
All right, so the modern economy benefits from keeping people in permanent indecision because indecisive people consume more. Think about it. If you were fully satisfied with your clothes, your appearance, your lifestyle, your relationships, modern industries wouldn't be making money, or at least as much money. Advertising works by manufacturing dissatisfaction. Social media works by creating comparison. Algorithms work by preventing conclusion. This system does not want you content.
We're losing control, and when people cannot meaningfully control large aspects of their lives, they often become hyperfixated on controlling smaller ones. This is why modern culture is obsessed with optimization. Aesthetic branding, morning rituals, clean girl lifestyles, biohacking, alpha male self help courses, all of those things happily encourage the obsession because insecurity is profitable. A person who feels complete, secure in their decisions, is difficult to sell to. So a false system of more and more choices is offered, so we feel like there's always something bigger and better.
So that's why, like for part two, and rage bait content works so well. It leaves you searching for more. That's why there's no such thing as a perfect product. If the product were perfect, the industry would go out of business because people would only need to buy it once. Or they at least would always know what choice they always go back to choosing. But companies don't do that. They give you this illusion that every product is similar, but not the same. The differences between them being so tiny, it's hard to tell which is really the best choice, like iPhones.
Advertising rarely sells products in a literal sense. It sells emotional transformation. A better body, a more desirable personality, a more successful identity, or a more attractive lifestyle. The implication beneath almost every advertisement is that your current self is incomplete and that whatever they're selling you is the answer to fixing it. Multiple studies have already been done stating that teen girls are significantly more unhappy with themselves than past decades because of social media. The paradox of choice is shoved down our throats, making it seem like it's our fault for not knowing how to choose.
This is kind of shown in Fight Club as well, if you believe it or not, which is a video on our channel, so please go back to go watch it. Okay, one of the most damaging consequences of infinite choice is the complete erasure of commitment. Modern culture tends to frame commitment as limitation. Why would they want you to be committed? To be committed to one thing means you feel secure in what you choose, and in turn, yourself.
Relationships become meaningful because people remain through hard times. Skills become meaningful because individuals devote years of their life to mastering them. None of these things can fully develop within a mindset that constantly searches for the next better thing.
Streaming platforms encourage people to abandon movies or shows halfway through because another option is instantly available. Social media encourages a lack of real personality because identities can be continuously reinvented. Jobs become temporary stepping stones rather than meaningful forms of participation in a community.
The result is a culture that glorifies flexibility while quietly destroying permanence. And yet, permanence is often what allows meaning to emerge in the first place. The truth is, meaningful decisions are usually difficult because they actually matter. Choosing a career, committing to a relationship, dedicating yourself to a craft, these choices carry weight because they shape who you become. But modern systems distract people from those deeper decisions by overwhelming them with endless shallow ones instead. That's why it's so much harder to pick when it comes to tough decisions. Because we're always picking, even for the tiniest things that don't really matter, like choosing what peanut butter to buy.
If we were able to make decisions that had actual substance or had huge disparities between options, it would be so much easier to pick. I mean, think about it. Real freedom was never supposed to mean choosing between 1,000 nearly identical products. Real freedom means having meaningful control over the direction of your life. And maybe that's the real paradox we live in. The most personalized society in history, yet millions of people have never felt more disconnected from themselves. But remember, we aren't scientists. We are just two people living through this community. And please, anything you watch on TV may have self destructive themes that aren't supposed to be picked up. So please take care of yourselves and your families and subscribe to Alternating Quran to be heard.
Thank you so much for watching, and let us know if you want more content like this.